Okay, today I am taking a look at Basil Hayden Red Wine Cask Finish. And obviously cask finishing has become basically ubiquitous in bourbon today as we speak. So many different brands are doing it. A lot of younger brands are doing it with different kinds of juice. So, you know, it's sort of appropriate that larger brands kind of dip into this. Beam has actually been doing cask finishing in bourbon for a long time, going back many, many, many years. Lots of different experiments, even some older brands and products that didn't really highlight the cask finishing as much. This is obviously put front and center. They changed the label. They put this red wine stain coloring on it, and really putting it out there with toast. And there's just a lot of different innovation. They're playing around with Basil Hayden as a brand, which is nice because it's 80 proof. It's in that 6 to 8 year old age profile, so it's very approachable. It's the high rye mash bill that Jim Beam makes. Old Granddad obviously being the sort of core of it, but this Basil Hayden red wine finish cask is. So I definitely get the Basil Hayden signature chocolate orange on the nose. That's the first thing. There's a little bit of kind of dried red fruit in there, dried cherry. There's some vanilla notes. Not a ton of spice, mostly that red fruit, dried cherry, and then that chocolate orange that I'm picking up. Doesn't specify what type of red wine casks or where they're from. Again, this one doesn't have an age statement on it either. There are Basil Haydens with age statements, but not this one. So you just kind of have to guess. And you can see the color, a little darker, a little richer, a little more mahogany. Let's take a sip. That is very silky, very smooth, very easy to drink. That kind of yeasty bite that you sort of get with Old Granddad and Basil Hayden sometimes has been completely taken over with a red fruit, dried cherry flavor. It's like vanilla cherry Coca-Cola. It's very interesting and very silky. I mean, just the smoothest entry mid-palate. There's not a lot of oak spice at all on the finish. All that oak spice has been taken over by the fruit. This really tastes like an old-fashioned without the sugar. You've got that dried cherry, maraschino cherry component to it that you get from that red wine cask finish. And then that's paired with the classic Jim Beam orange and yeasty note. And it is really... it's really great. I mean, it's gimmicky. The label is gimmicky. You know, there's some finished bourbons that I've had that I don't love that can get too fruity almost. But this one is right on the line, and it's where I think it's the most interesting is the mid palate, where that signature yeast note has kind of gotten wiped off, and that fruit note, that red core fruit has been added from the red wine. So it's an interesting take on Basil Hayden, and one that I think people are really going to enjoy. And it's actually a pretty good price, around $50. So it's not outrageous, and you get to try something that's fun, experimental, and ultimately very, very good and tasty to drink, which is the key. All right, cheers.